We're turning now to an important global story about a man you should know about, Vincent Lambert. Vincent Lambert, shown here in his hospital bed, is being called France's Terry Schiavo. At age 32, the Frenchman became a quadriplegic with severe brain damage following a car accident. 10 years later, his life seems to be in the court's hands. Lambert does need assistance to receive food and water, but he is not sick, not in a coma. He breathes unassisted, and Lambert's internal organs function normally. Despite all of that and possible evidence of improvement, a French court recently ordered the hospital to deny Vincent Lambert food and water, starving him to death at the request of his wife. It's not the first euthanasia attempt on Vincent's life. In 2013, doctors tried to remove food and water, but were stopped when his parents sued the hospital and won. Lambert's situation has not yet captured the same global attention as the recent Alfie Evans case, but Pope Francis has spoken out in defense of the Frenchman's life.
Le persone come Vincent Lambert.
And there are new indications of hope for the Lamberts. The Jérôme Lejeune Foundation, based in France, has drawn up a petition with nearly 100,000 signatures to protect Vincent. And in late April, a court ruled a panel of 3 medical experts should examine the case and either confirm or cancel the hospital's decision to remove Vincent Lambert's food and water. Bobby Schindler is the brother of the late Terry Schiavo and president of the Terry Schiavo Life and Hope Network, and Tom Shakely is executive director of the group. Thank you both for being here for this important story.
Sure.
Bobby, Vincent is being called France's Terry Schiavo. How does his case compare to that of your sister's?
Well, the similarities are striking. Vincent sustained a brain injury and was being cared for by his spouse, and wasn't needing any type of extraordinary care, so to speak. He was being sustained by a feeding tube. He had difficulty swallowing because of his brain injury. But nonetheless, for his wife, came to the point where she no longer wanted to care for him and decided to take the steps to end his life. So that was very similar to what happened in my sister's situation. The parents stepped in, outraged by this decision, and began their fight, the spouse, to stop this from happening. It got into the court system, and that's where we are now. And so it's very similar, where the spouse took the steps to end the life of a brain-injured loved one, and the parents stepped in to stop it from happening.
It's an ugly battle. Tom, can you update us? What are the latest developments in this case that we should know about?
Sure. So everyone had sort of thought that there was no more hope for Vincent. You know, his case has not received the same publicity on an international level as others have, certainly Terry's yet, for instance. But surprisingly, last month, while the hospital that is taking care of him had been expected to decide to withdraw treatment, a series of things happened where the hospital essentially seems to be trying to position itself so that it doesn't have to make this decision. The hospital is now seeking to appoint a public guardian for Vincent. So this would be somebody that is done through the French secular authorities, not somebody who's appointed either by Vincent's wife or by his parents. So it looks like there's hope, but still ultimately, depending on what happens with the public guardian, things could go either way.
And we need to keep monitoring to see what happens. You know, I was reading more on this case, on the Vincent Lambert case, and there were some articles saying he's on life support, but that's not right, right? What are the biggest misconceptions facing this case?
Well, we don't recognize food and hydration administered by a feeding tube as anything extraordinary or medical treatment. This is just proper care.
Right.
So, and it existed in my sister's situation, this confusion about how she was being sustained. Because of their brain injury, they have difficulty swallowing and therefore need the help of a feeding tube, which is the only thing sustaining them. So people need to understand that that's what we're talking about here, the removal of his the denial of his basic care, his food and water, which would result in a death by dehydration and starvation, which is what happened in my sister's case.
Oh my goodness.
Right, and so the thing to keep in mind here is when people speak about end-of-life issues, when a Christian or a Catholic speaks about end-of-life issues, it's generally with the idea that somebody's life is coming to an end, and the question is about what sort of appropriate care that can be given to respect their dignity at that point. So it's life-affirming.
Right.
When other folks tend to speak about end-of-life scenarios or end-of-life protocols, in Vincent's case, it usually means that somebody wants to impose an end-of-life situation. It means that somebody wants to end life, and so they're going to speak about end-of-life issues. So two radically different meanings of the term to be aware of, especially in Vincent's case.
Even though Vincent can keep on living and does not have a terminal illness.
Well, that's right.
At all right now. You know, we talked about some hope and optimism in this case. How optimistic are you both that he will be able to continue to get food and water?
Well, he's being evaluated right now by brain injury experts and doctors, and just seeing the videos of Vincent and the way he's responsive to his parents in particular, I think they're going to see, and the parents believe that, and doctors have gone on record with the court to say that he can be helped with rehabilitation. So, you know, we're hopeful that the experts will come back and validate what the parents have been saying, right, and doctors have been saying, that he is a candidate for rehabilitation, and the court will allow him to receive that real rehabilitation that he needs, rather than being warehoused in a facility and not being properly cared for.
Yeah, the phrase sunlight is the best disinfectant, right, is common in law, and it's especially applicable in cases like this. When you see the humanity of somebody like an Alfie Evans or like a Vincent Lambert, and especially in Vincent's case where you see, you know, he actually does have a minimal ability to swallow and to taste certain things, to do certain things, beyond even the ability that was demonstrated in Terry's case. It's incredibly difficult to look at Vincent, look him in the eyes, so to speak, and to say that this is a man who's dying or this is a man who doesn't deserve basic care.
You know, Bobby, it's been 13 years now since your sister, Terry Schiavo's death. Since then, have we seen more cases like Terry's and Vincent's? Are these becoming more and more common, or are we just paying more attention to it?
Oh, I think undoubtedly. If we can use the calls that we're receiving on our crisis lifeline at our network as an indication of kind of the climate or the barometer of our healthcare system today, I think there is a need to be concerned with certain treatment decisions, and how loved ones who are advocating, or those who are advocating for loved ones, are really being stripped or being denied of their decision-making power to get the proper treatment they're asking for. So yeah, I think it's something we need to be concerned about, and with these cases now, with the Alfie case and the Charlie Gard case, I think it's putting this issue on more people's radar, and why we need to be concerned and really advocate for our loved ones if we're ever in these types of situations.
Absolutely. And just finally, for our viewers who maybe they're dealing with a confusing healthcare case of their own, how can they find out about your work and how to get in touch with you all?
Sure. So our main work is through our crisis lifeline. And so if you go to lifeandhope.com, you can find out all about that, ranging from patient and family advocacy to emotional, spiritual guidance, ethical guidance, etc.
Excellent. We'll be sure to put that information on the screen for our viewers. Bobby Schindler, Tom Shakely, thank you both for being here with us.
That's our pleasure. Thank you.